Hi, everybody. I saw this crazy YouTube video by the famous scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who asked the following question: what's the rarest material in the universe? Take a moment to think. It's not diamonds. It's not gold. The answer is wood. Wood that comes from trees. Nowhere in the universe except Earth, where there is life, where there is oxygen and water, do trees grow. So through the ends of the universe, he claims you will never find a tree. So wow, I never thought about wood that way before. In this week's double parsha, we recount the materials that we used to build the Mishkan. The beams that were used for the structure were made out of atzei shitim, acacia wood, wood that comes from trees that Yaakov Avinu had planted in Egypt and told his children, take it with you when you travel, when you leave. And these beams are built vertically, not horizontally. The Lubavitcher Rebbe quotes the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, his father-in-law, from a famous mimer, a Hasidic discourse called Basar Ligani, that the name atzei shitim, acacia wood, but atzei shitim, the word shitim can mean shtus, silliness, not mindfulness, the opposite of stupidity, madness, shtus. The Gemara says that a person never sins unless a ruach shtus, a silly thought comes into their head, that's when they sin. But the Rebbe says there are two levels of this thing called shtus. There's the stuff that makes us, distracts us, the stupid stuff. But then there's a holy level of shtus. What do you mean? So the example the Gemara tells us is about a very famous Torah scholar who used to juggle at weddings. And one of his colleagues came up to him and reprimanded him. He said, "You're a Torah scholar, you're acting like a clown." Well, when this rabbi who acted like a clown died, a fire came down from Shemayim and separated everybody from him. And they all took from that meant that this man, his intentions were holy. So when we use a silly idea, a maddening idea, and direct it towards Hashem, that's a shtus kedusha. Building a mishkan, a place for God to dwell in the middle of a wilderness, that's madness, that's crazy. God's going to come down into this little wood hut that you're making, this little tent, whatever it's called. And the answer is, yes, even that spirit, that ruach that we get, we can elevate it, this ruach shtus, to a ruach of shtus kedusha. It's a fascinating idea. And maybe that's why we have to put the beams vertically, because it's always about directing our intentions to a holier and a higher cause. Atzei shitim, simple wood that you and I don't even think about, realizing it's one of the rarest forms in the universe. Perhaps this idea is also a very rare idea. How many of us can take a silly notion and direct it towards holiness? I think about people who started Hatzalah, Chai Lifeline, all these great organizations. People probably said to them, "You're crazy, this is never going to get off the ground." But if we have the right intentions and we try to plan it, and the naysayers say, no, you can't do it, I think the message of the Atzei Shittim is, yes, we can. Yes, we can. If you like what you hear, please pass it on. I wish you success with all your crazy ideas, and may they all work out the way you like them to. Shabbat Shalom. Please pass it on if you like what you hear.